Welcome to Our Kids, sponsored by Jefferson County Public Schools. I'm Ballard High School correspondent Madey Winspear. It's the year 2021. Can you believe it? This January, we will take a look at district-wide virtual clubs. We'll see how teachers are making a difference with their students, and we'll also check out what's happening with the Academies of Louisville. JCPS has offered students the chance to join virtual clubs throughout the district. It's a fun chance to learn new things and meet new friends.
And Greta's up first. So right, you guys.
We have 4 kids, and 3 of them are doing the after-school virtual clubs.
We currently have right now over 80 clubs, K through 12. The big idea kind of came from the fact that kids need this. I mean, a lot of times, a lot of after-school clubs are canceled right now.
I'm doing Among Us. Among Us is a game, it's not a new game, but recently it's just spiked in popularity. It was introduced in 2016, and it's a mystery game.
I'm doing Lego Club, and I'm also doing holiday-themed breakout rooms and puzzles.
1 brown behind the brown tree, 2 green in the green tree, 3 behind the yellow corn, 4 up in the green tree again, and 5 behind the pumpkins. Woohoo! I tell them, whenever you can come, you come. I'm here just to have fun. I don't expect you to have to do anything extra.
4. So let's see. Ta-da!
When mom and dad come home from work and they're like, you know what, I'm exhausted. My day has been so hard. What can my kid do to keep occupied and to find some new friends? And none of the kids knew each other. And so they've come from different schools, and my job, I think, is to build that community and say, all right, what is it that I can do to connect them? And so the one thing I can do is I can bring laughter every day, and I can be there and just show up.
Here's my sheet of paper. So the after-school club I have is STEAM Club, and that's science, technology, engineering, art, and math. It has a focus on art, and we meet once a week on Wednesdays at 4 o'clock live. We did some leaf rubbings first and talked about some science with the veins and how to do the rubbing, and then we made a wreath the following week. And last week we did Skittles experiments or other candy if they had left over from Halloween. And tonight we're going to make paper airplanes.
You're going to do the same thing on the other side and put a nice crease in your paper. Oh, Lillian, that looks perfect.
It is amazing, actually, the connection that you feel with them, and kids that I'm just meeting that I would have never met before if we hadn't done this. So that's been really kind of nice.
It's really awesome that they do, because in the middle of all this for all of us kids, it's extremely fun, and I look forward to it every week, because the second that I get off from it one week, because it's on Wednesdays, literally yesterday, after I got off of it, I said, oh, I wish it would be next week already, because I wanted to do it.
Yeah, it's awesome. It gives me like a nice little break. Yeah, it's fun.
I look forward to it, and to find something fun for them is also fun for me.
It's been a great injection of energy for our kids here. They look forward to them. They could just get really excited about being creative and being able to play with other kids.
We have an opportunity now to allow them to get into clubs that are offered all over the district. And I think I was so happy seeing the immense amount of clubs offered in such a short amount of time. So yeah, to answer your question, like I fully hope that we're able to offer this long after we go back to a more normal state.
Stouffer Elementary teachers are using their communication skills to work with families during NTI instruction.
I do have 3 boys. All 3 are at Stouffer this year. I have a 4th grader, a 2nd grader, and a kindergartner. And my kindergartner, he's actually been in the JCPS school system since the day he turned 3 because he qualified for extra therapies. Miss Schaefer, she has been just amazing.
Well, this is what I do.
One of the big things that Miss Schaefer's done that's just been epic for us is every single day she uploads what the parents need. So I can pull out all of his papers in advance, which means he can, and she has a slide she does that he can follow because she has numbers on it. So he knows what to click.
We work as a team. We have 5 teachers and 5 assistants. We plan, we share ideas. I mean, we're this village that comes together and to communicate.
She's so receptive to feedback. She's so aware of what these kids need. And she knows that they're in kindergarten, and she still makes it so much fun.
Oh, the butterfly's too cold here. Let's go to Mexico.
My 4th grader is in the advanced program. He also needs a lot of extra time. Miss Whitfield constantly is amazing at reaching out.
What we as teachers at Stouffer are doing, we're making ourselves flexible to meet the needs of not only the students, but the parents as well.
He's very shy. And so he had spent a few hours doing a project for Miss Whitfield.
Children can't learn unless they feel comfortable. That's the main part of teaching is realizing, being able to empathize, being able to see through that child and understand what that child needs and meeting the needs of that child, whether it be emotional, academic, or whatever. You have to be there to know what they need. And sometimes the anxiety becomes overwhelming when they have to present in front of other students. It also becomes overwhelming when they're doing it in a new setting, such as NTI.
They just go out of their way so much. And, I'd hate to see what my kids' grades might be if she wasn't as proactive as she wasn't helping us navigate.
More than anything, I would love to be sitting across the table from Oliver.
And so when I see a teacher make a point to connect with him and not just assume his lack of eye contact is disinterest, it's not, it's him struggling. So seeing her make constant efforts just to connect with him when that's something that he's historically struggled with, and then actually connect with him, is probably one of my greatest joys as a parent. And I don't think I could have had a better year for him, even with NTI, just because they've done so much.
When you do have a parent who reaches out, to JCPS to say, hey, look what these teachers are doing. They're making my life so much easier. They're making my child's life so much easier. You're going, as a teacher, like, thank goodness someone really is feeling all the work that we're putting forth. It makes me very happy to know that.
Students at Norton Elementary collected winter clothing items for kids in their community as part of a service learning project.
Oh my gosh, look at this. Wow.
We are here at Norton Elementary, and second grade is having a service project drive-through. They've been studying about needs and wants, and so they are now, they talked about the fact that some people in our community need some things, and so they're having a winter weather drive where they're bringing in scarves and mittens and caps and things to share with some other kids in the community that might need some support.
Oh, what did you donate?
I got hats and gloves, and that's it.
Oh, look at this. That's awesome.
We had a first grade drive-through where they brought in food for the community, and then we have two next week. We're having one for the Humane Society, and then another one is bringing in some dental hygiene supplies.
Let me tell you something.
It goes along with the backpack skill of globally and culturally competent citizen. We want our students to understand that while they may have the things they need at home, not everyone does, and so we want them to have that compassion and be able to service others. It's a chance for the kids to see their teachers. They don't have that connection in person, and so we like these drive-through events because it gives them a chance to see their teachers and just have that one-on-one connection for even a few moments. And then we also have some special holiday gifts that teachers are sharing today with their students in conjunction with the service project.
Thank you for your donation. Let's get how cute is that?
The Teacher Residency program allows college-educated professionals the chance to become teachers through mentoring and education.
Your links should be in the Google Classroom for your Do Now.
The idea behind Louisville Teacher Residency is, one, to provide a staff that is reflective of the students within Jefferson County Public Schools.
Basically, the program is designed to increase the minority teachers within JCPS. So we are taking classes at the University of Louisville while getting our teaching certification, and we are also getting our Master's of Arts in Teaching degree. So we're taking those classes, and we are also getting experience in the classroom. If we're looking at the x-axis, I don't even have my teaching certification, and I'm allowed to be of assistance to the students in the classroom as if I was their teacher. It's called a resident classroom instructor, but I also joined the program to be able to gain that teaching experience. And then also for the program, you have to remain in JCPS for 5 more years. And I feel like that's going to be a good thing for me. That provides stability for me.
If you saw their faces, some of them were like, what does that mean?
She's wonderful. She hit the ground running. She knew exactly what she wanted to do. She has a wonderful confidence and an air about her in front of the students. The idea or the prospect of being able to help guide a new teacher and doing that for the entire year instead of just here's 6 weeks, good luck, enjoy. I felt like this was a great opportunity to kind of share kind of the things that I've discovered or learned throughout my experience. I think that this is a wonderful and great opportunity to see all of the ins and outs of teaching before you're the teacher of record. So when you're the teacher of record, you are in charge of everything. You're in charge of the students' well-being, you're in charge of their grades, you're in charge of their curriculum, you're in charge of making sure that they understand what they're supposed to. And when you're a Louisville teacher resident, you're in charge of all of those things, but with somebody there to help you in the entire time.
You should be doing the 0.25x. One of my reasons why I want to become a teacher is to become a representation for those minority students who are in the classroom, so they can see someone that looks like them in that position, to let them know that if they do want to do a career in teaching or become a doctor or a lawyer, that it is available to them and they can become that. I am from Clark County, Kentucky, so that is a predominantly white town, and it's also very small. Like, I have one high school in that town, but I came to the University of Louisville, and essentially it was a culture shock for me. I had never seen that many people that looked like me, and going into this teaching field, I was like, I want to see more people that look like me in my classroom, and I want them to be my students, so that they have someone to look up to. Because I could have went home to my predominantly white town and become a teacher there, but I decided to stay into JCPS because of that diverse reason.
Being able to get quality teachers into the building in front of students that need somebody that they can look up to and say, I want to be like that. And I know I can be like that because she or he is just like I am. And I think that there's a lot of power in that.
Yes, it's recruit teachers, and we are specializing and prioritizing minority teachers for our students. But overall, teacher residency can be for any and everybody that's in the community with getting certification to teach in JCPS.
When you bring those master's teachers into those classrooms, it's going to be good for those students. They're going to be able to see us again as minority teachers, and they're going to look up to us, maybe even want to become a teacher.
And I think that that is where we truly start to build our pipeline of teachers, is when we're fostering and cultivating new leaders from their step into the profession. And so Jamaia has endless potentials of what she will be. When you look up, she might be director of teacher residency in 10 years.
Ballard High School correspondents Molly Hicks and Sophie Blinko have some stress management advice.
Are you constantly stressed out about schoolwork and find it hard to keep up as the weeks go on? Chances are you probably struggle with time management. One of the easiest ways to stay on top of your work, and one of my personal favorites, is to get a planner or an agenda and write down everything you need to accomplish for the week. This way you'll have a clear idea of what needs to be done and how long you should take for each task. Make sure to give yourself enough, and if not even more, time to focus on your studies and schoolwork. You could even FaceTime or meet up with a friend to study. This way you're both getting your work done and you're having fun at the same time. When working from home, it's very easy to get distracted. This is why it's a good idea to put anything away like cell phones or turn off the TV. Try isolating yourself, freeing you from any distractions that'll keep you from focusing on your work. This will help to steer you away from any sort of procrastination or stalling in your work. A common strategy is to set some sort of timer, allowing yourself a certain amount of time per task. This way you can control the time devoted to each and every activity, increasing the effectiveness and efficiency of your work. Every once in a while, try cleaning your workspace to both clear your mind and to stay organized. This helps in creating a healthy and functional environment for you to focus on your work. Remember, it's very important to make sure you incorporate time to do other things besides simply just work. Dedicate times to doing things you love. Maybe it's painting, going on a walk, exercising, or even reading a book. We're Ballard correspondents Molly Hicks and Sophie Blinko for Our Kids.
Atherton High School correspondent Amelia Barber has discovered her own trick to staying focused during NTI. That inspired her to find out more tips from her classmates.
The other day, I was just scrolling through TikTok and procrastinating on some homework when I saw this one TikTok that said that Mario Kart music can actually help you focus and study. So of course, I went over to Spotify to see if it really did work, And it did. I got a lot of work done, even if it was just a placebo effect. What are some other ways and other tips to help me and others stay focused on their work during NTI? Because I know I'm not the only person struggling with this. So I asked some other people what they do to stay focused on their work.
Hi, I'm Asia, a senior at Atherton, and this is how I stay focused during NTI.
Now I know, especially since our entire education is based on technology, it's important to take out as many distractions as possible. One way I like to do this is by putting my phone on Do Not Disturb or turning off notifications when I'm in class. That way I can stay focused on what I need to work on. Something else I started doing is making notes to myself and posting it somewhere I would always look. Now some people may prefer agendas or journals, but for me this is what works best. And when I know I'm done with something, I can always go ahead and throw the reminder away. Now I know this one is obvious, but try to go in a quiet environment if possible. Sometimes it's hard to work with a lot of noise, or whenever I get distracted, I miss out on a lot of announcements as well. So make sure you stay alert. I hope these tips help.
One way that I stay focused in school is thinking about my next meal, because I always eat lunch after third period, so that gets me through the first 3 periods. And I also listen to music whenever I get stressed.
Hopefully those amazing tips can help you focus on your work. I'm Amelia Barber.
The University of Louisville basketball coach opened another new Coach Matt Corner at Fraser Elementary School. It will be a welcoming spot in the library for students when they are back in school. We've got more JCPS stories coming up. Stay tuned.
My name is Dean Evelyn, and I'm the transition coach here at Byrd Traditional Middle School. So it's either Coach Evelyn or Coach E. I think almost half the city, 3/4 of the city of Louisville have my cell phone number. I get calls at all hours of the night, all hours of the morning and everything, so that we can serve them in any way possible. It's not just an 8 to 3 job or this and that. It's a lifestyle. It's a way you do things. My job as a transition coach here, so much of the interventions, academic and behavior-wise. And I'm sort of a jack of all trades to do so many different things on a daily basis. But mainly it's servicing our parents and our students so that they can kind of overcome obstacles. I was a kid who grew up having a terrible speech problem, and I never thought that I'd be able to get up in front of people and speak and kind of coach and all that. I thought I'd probably be sitting behind a cubicle somewhere. I connect with the kids who a lot of people struggle with connecting with, so that I can kind of teach them some of my experiences, some of my obstacles in life. It isn't a job to me. It's my passion. It's what we want to do. My job so many times is like dropping off a Chromebook on a Friday night in the West End, or it's to be able to go take a kid to get a haircut that haven't gone, or some shoes, seeing what the needs are so you can meet them where they are. My name is Coach Evelyn, and I am JCPS.
Thanks again for all you do and being a part of the JCPS family.
I love my school.
Schools look different right now,
but we are still one.
My teachers care about me and my success.
Miss Mog is the best.
JCPS has prepared me for what's next.
I am JCPS.
I am JCPS.
I am JCPS.
Welcome back to Our Kids. I am Ballard High School correspondent Madey Winspear. Ballard High School's Teaching and Learning Pathway in the Academy of Louisville program gives students a chance to earn college credit while still attending high school.
The Teaching and Learning Pathway program at Ballard is designed to inspire students to become teachers and to pursue possible interest in the education field. You can actually receive dual credit for those courses. So by the time they graduate high school, they could earn up to 12 credit hours towards their undergraduate degree.
I'm a freshman at Ballard High School, and I chose to be a part of the Teaching and Learning Pathway because ever since I was in third or fourth grade, I've wanted to be a teacher. It's just always been a passion of mine. So my goal for being part of the pathway was I just wanted to get more experience with teaching, and I wanted to have a head start, and I wanted to start early.
Ballard is unique in the fact that we actually offer the class Introduction to Special Education. A lot of our students have loved being peer tutors in the low incidence MSD or FMD classrooms that are in a lot of our schools. And so that's become a very popular course. In addition to that, we also have an introductory level course, which just provides an overview of the career and kind of an understanding of one's own learning and metacognition.
And when I'm in her classroom, I just know, like, oh my gosh, yes, like I get excited to go to her class. And there's some classes I'm not as excited about because they're not my strong suits and things like this, but my learning communities class, I'm always there on time. I really want to be there and I'm really engaged because I just love the class.
I love my job. It is amazing to be able to teach students who are interested, want to learn, find this information applicable, and are generally curious.
I used to think that teaching was I knew that it was complicated because every student learns differently, but even before putting that like to the test, like even before like bringing that element in, like students learning and things like that, like even just having to formulate a test, I thought it was gonna take me like 2 seconds to do. It took me a long time, lots of revisions to get the test to where it was like an actual test that a student could take. So it definitely makes me appreciate what teachers do a lot more.
Teachers, above all, need to be adaptable and flexible to a variety of circumstances, a variety of situations, and a variety of students in their class. And so this is perfect application of the fact that we need to be resilient individuals who are constantly changing our craft and improving our craft and learning new things. I've had to learn a ton about new technology. My students have been very patient with me. They've also been able to kind of provide me with some suggestions and give me some really important feedback that I've had during this process of NTI to be more effective for my students. And I think it's also important that they realize that the field is changing and that with these changing times and as technology grows, we're going to grow and change with it.
During this pathway, I have more experience and I'll be able to be in classrooms more, and I'll have that on my resume when I'm trying to apply for a job as a teacher. So I think it's just going to give me a head start.
Atherton High School correspondent Sophia Schindler introduces us to a student that has some animal-oriented hobbies.
Junior Nicola Schindler shows us what she's been doing to keep herself occupied during this time. Nicola has 3 horses and just recently adopted a greyhound. Let's see what she has to show us.
During the coronavirus pandemic, I have been cart driving with my miniature horse Prince. He recently learned how to drive a cart, so we've been practicing doing that. And it's not just my miniature horse Prince who's been learning, but it's also been me. You know, I have to learn how to use my hands and while showing him where to go, and we have to be able to work as a team to really get through the obstacles that can occur during the training process. So I try my hardest to work as a team with him, and then we usually do pretty good. When I'm not actually working with him, I like to take him out of his field and groom him, graze him, and sometimes give him fun hairstyles. I like to braid his mane sometimes. And I like to put his forelock in a ponytail because he looks really cute. So that's usually what I do, especially after school. When I'm feeling kind of tired, then I usually just take him out and groom him and make him look pretty. During the coronavirus pandemic, I have been fostering a greyhound. We've always wanted a dog, so we wanted to foster first, and we wanted greyhounds because my older sister had an ex-racehorse, and so we kind of feel a connection to the breed. Yeah, so Roscoe's a 4-year-old greyhound, and he ran 141 races, so for 4 years, that's kind of all he knew is racing on the track, and yeah, so it's been a big adjustment for him. We spent most of our time teaching him how to do things like walk up and down the stairs and play with toys. He just recently started playing with toys. And walking on a leash. And we've been trying our hardest to teach him how to be a family dog, which he's been really good at, so he learns very fast. So we had a lot of fun with that, and we are deciding to adopt him. So
thank you to Nicola for sharing her hobbies with us. I hope everyone has some sort of activity keeping them entertained during NTI.
A lot of people have been doing more cooking this past year. Ballard High School student Taylor Sanders shares a recipe for caramel apple cake. It sounds delicious.
First, you are going to grease and flour a 12-cup bundt pan or a 10-inch tube pan. Next, you are going to beat cake mix, dry pudding mix, water, eggs, and oil in a large bowl with an electric mixer on low speed until blended. Then you are going to beat on high speed for 2 minutes. You're going to peel the apples and then gently stir them in and pour them into the prepared pan. Bake for 50 minutes to an hour and then cool on a wire rack for 20 minutes. Lastly, you're going to take your caramels and milk in a microwave bowl for 1.5 minutes, stirring every 30 seconds until blended. Drizzle the caramel over top and then enjoy.
First grade students at Bates Elementary School got to bend the ear of Kentucky's Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman, who dropped into their virtual classroom to talk about how government works. The students had prepared for the visit by talking about the role of government and peppered the Lieutenant Governor with questions. Congratulations to Elena Kamenetsky. She's a Japanese teacher at Eastern High School who was just named National Language Teacher of the Year by the American Council of Teaching of Foreign Languages. Here's something really cool from the YPAS Symphonic Band. It's a virtual performance of Florentiner March. You can find entire episodes on our JCPS YouTube channel. Until next time, keep supporting our kids.